Hi folks, I'm Ilona and today I have a tutorial on how to make a basic frame from square wire. So this is the most basic frame you can make. I'm sure you've seen it around. And this is more or less the same thing, just it has additional catches, I guess, to secure the cabochon. So if your stone is big, long and wide, a frame like this might not be enough to hold it securely because it can just slide out through the big gap. I will start with the most basic frame, the most typical design you see made with square wire. I start with cutting 3 lengths of wire. By the way, if you don't have nylon jaw pliers, I highly recommend you getting them. So I will straighten my wire and cut 3 pieces. Now the length you need depends on the design you're making. If you are doing something simple and you will only need a small amount of wire, you probably only need about 6 lengths of your cabochon, which you will, measure like so. You measure 3 and then half and add another half. But depending on what you're making, you might need 8 lengths of cabochon or 10. So because I'm just making the frame and nothing else, I'm going to cut quite short lengths. And you see, the beauty of the nylon jaw plier is that you can just keep your wire on a spool and straighten it like this. And it's really, really easy. And then you just measure the piece you have against the wire, cut it, and then do the same with another piece. You want your wires to be as straight as possible. See, because the wire is square. If it twists, it's not gonna be looking good. So how are we looking here? Let's straighten this a bit more. With copper wire, because it's so soft, you can even use your fingers to straighten it, because the heat of your body, temperature of your body is actually enough to manipulate it. But it's also a negative side of copper, I guess, precisely for that reason, because if you hold it too much, like too tight, it will deform. Anyway, let's get started. So then I will take 22 gauge wire, 22 gauge half round wire, and see, half round wire. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cold. One side is half round, obviously, that's why it's called half round, and the other side is kind of like shiny and flat. So you want the flat side to go on the square wire, on top of your square wire. Like so, see? And just make sure it's all, they're all next to each other. The number of rotations you need will also depend on the size of your cabochon. Obviously, if it's something really small, you don't need that many, but for this one, you'll probably need quite a bit more. one or two more, it should be enough. Yeah. Now, an important thing is you want your end of the half round wire to be on the same side, I mean both of them. And that would be the inside of your frame. Obviously you don't want the ends to be on the outside because not only they will unwrap, but they can also get caught on things, like on your clothes or whatever. There. Now I will make sure that this wrap is in the middle. Looks about right. And now I'll pinch it. Another great use for nylon jaw pliers. Okay. To shape the frame, the easiest way to do it is to put your cabochon on a flat surface. Hold it like so. And slowly but surely, sliding. Just move it up like that. And then the same on the other side. Just hold it. And sliding. Bring it up. Straighten it. Move this if it's to the center again if it shifted. Things like to shift, but you can always straighten them. So this is the start of the frame. To make the bail, I know some people, like for example, Oksana just brings them and squishes them here, but I'm not as confident with that. So what I do is I will see what I was talking about, the wires constantly wanting to move. You'll just gently straighten them, but be careful with your pliers because they will leave marks on the wire. A lot of them come off if you use if you oxidize your piece and then you use wire wool, it will burnish it. I mean, it will burnish the marks. But it is better to avoid them in the first place, though it's not always possible. Anyway, so what we do now, I would separate them and kind of crisscross them together, like that. See? And put your stone in and bring it down. You usually want a little space left there for tucking in the ends. So I think this is good enough. This will do. This will do. A nice trick is to take a Sharpie and mark where the wires meet, but just the front two. You don't need to mark all of them. There. Now remove the stone. Take your pliers. Where's my? And now I will just grab that wire at the mark and bring it up. And then grab the wire at the mark on the other side. Just make sure that it's not twisted. It is twisted. Sorry. I'll grab it here as well and also bring it up. And we'll check if it's still good. sorta, I guess. More or less. This side is slightly higher, but it's not going to be a problem. So what I will do now is just to take the other two wires that I have here, and I will take them at the same height as the bend on the first wire and just bring them up parallel. You know, the whole side is up now. Oh. And I'll do the same on the second side. Hold on, I'll grab them and then I'll show you. There, see? And also bring them up. Hold on, I'm gonna try to do it under the camera. There. So they really like to twist here, but you need to make sure they align next to each other. It is quite important for making your bail and making sure your frame is nice and pretty. Okay. Now I am going to secure them all together and start the bail. Make sure they align next to each other. Flat here, bring them together. Check everything's still okay. It's a bit snug, but it's also going to be fine. See, it's a nice little rectangular shape here. So we'll take the half round wire again, and what I do, I never cut it off the spool because it's, trust me, it's much easier when it's on the spool. And again, I'll put the flat side on the square wire. And I like to secure the end once around the frame, like through the frame. And then I'll just take this and tie it together 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 times. Okay. What's happening there? Trim this. This is not a huge deal. We will secure the bail later. So this looks like this is the front because it's a bit tilted. So your basic design, you will want to use these 2 front wires for the bail. So I will keep them as they are. And then I'll turn it the other way. So this is the back. And I will take the back 2 wires. This is the left one, left back, and I bring it to the left. This is the right one, and I bring it to the right. And I'll do the same with the middle wires. So left, middle, going to the left, and right, middle, going to the right. So that's what I have currently. And these 2 guys are going to be my bail. Now I'll just take that wire I still have there and start and start wrapping. The half round wire also likes to twist, because there is a right and the wrong side. You need to make sure that it's going the right way. So the easiest way is actually to hold the wire and rotate your piece, not the other way around. It's starting to twist, which is fine. I will straighten it. And I just continue. So the length of your wrap here depends on the size of the bail you want. So let's say this is enough for me. I trim it on the inside again, so the end can be hidden. And then, depending on what you want, I might squish it if I want it to look more flat. Now with copper wire, it's pretty easy to just bend it over your finger, like just bend it with your hands, but let's do it this way. If you're not comfortable with it, you'll just take something roundish. Well, this is not exactly round, but it will do the trick. Just put it like that and bend it over. Now you can remove it. There, there's your shape now. Now these two are going inside the frame. Squeeze it a little bit. They go inside the frame. Bring them to the sides. Take this and bring it there, and this, bring it here. Now remember we left this little space there, so this is what it's for. Tuck this in there, trim. And carefully pinch this end in. And the same on the other side. Okay. So this is the frame. This is the most basic frame there is. To insert your stone, I usually start on the back, and I would just take, the back wire with my nail and bring it in the middle, and I'm doing the same on the other side. You can use your pliers for that, just move it like so. So this is the front. To secure it on the bottom, I would also bring it a little bit out so there's a little space there. Then take your pliers. You can use round nose pliers if you don't have thin needle nose pliers. Well, I can't seem to find my round nose pliers, so oh, there's one. So you'll put it quite close here and move it towards yourself, like so. See? And the same on the other side. Lift it a little bit. Take the plier. It takes a little practice to make them even. It doesn't always work. But yeah, you take it and you move it towards the middle. The second frame option is for longer cabochons. You start much the same way as with a basic frame, but because the cabochon is so long, this would not be enough to hold it, because yeah, it would just be able to slide out. So you cut your 3 lengths, do the same wrap here, but what you add is 2 little wraps higher up on your frame. Just make sure all the ends are on the same side. And then much the same way, I will put it down, hold it, bring it up one side, bring it up second side. Oh, I even almost got the height right. Just, let's say here. And now I pinch them. You don't need many wraps here, like I just had 3. There. And the same way as I did before, I'll crisscross them. Leaving a little gap here. Now I'm going to skip this part because it's exactly the same as on the first frame. But I'll be back to secure the cabochon. So that's my frame done. I trimmed these off because I'm not going to make a full pendant and they're just in the way. Okay, so you I put the cabochon in, make sure these are still sort of even. I guess they are. I again start in the back, much in the same way I will doesn't want to separate. Well, we'll make you. Bring it in. Same on the other side. Bring it in. And there, these two, it's up to you. You can also lock them or you can leave them. It's not gonna make much difference, but let's do them too. Why not? There. The important part is this side. Again, lift this a little bit. And now, just like we did in the first option, bring this these two corners towards the middle. And now we want to do exactly the same thing here. So one option is just to do the top one. You can grab and bring it towards the middle. So it will look like this. And another option is to do both of them. So we'll do the top one. Oh, excuse me. Top one towards the middle. And then this one as well. So it kind of gets this look. It really depends on the aesthetics you're going for. Maybe your design required this. But in any case, they're both secure. Let's do this one in the same way, so at least it's symmetrical. Towards the middle. There. So this is the second option of the same frame. Same idea, slightly different variation. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful and clear and all the great things. Bye!